Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün Danimarka'nın Uluslararası Üniversitesi via University College'da akademik eğitim ve kariyer fırsatlarını Hele ve Berkeley'den dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı questions kısmından sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Hele, the stage is yours now.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome to this introduction to Denmark and to VIA University College. My name is Helle and I'm an international coordinator here at VIA, and I work with recruiting international students for our English programs. I also have Berk here with me today who will help me answer questions and who can also help me explain something to you in Turkish if needed. I would like to start by telling you a little bit about some of the reasons why you might choose to come to Denmark. Denmark is, compared to Turkey and to many other countries, a very small country. And being a small country, of course, makes it easier to make a well-functioning system, especially when it comes to social security. So what we have here is a very high level of very well-functioning welfare system. So we pay, some would say, high taxes in Denmark, but for that we get a very high level of social security. Denmark is also a place where you can feel very safe. It is a place where both when it comes to the rate of crime, but also, again, when it comes to social security, it's a place where we all feel very safe. We can go out at night. We can feel secure that if we get ill, we have the free hospitals, we have the free schools, we have free universities where the young people can go. So in that way, we have this very profound feeling of security and safety here in Denmark. It's a society that is based very much on trust. So we trust that when we pay the high taxes, the politicians and the administrations will help us benefit the most from these high taxes. So it's a society where we trust each other and we trust the system and our politicians. Then it's a country where we also focus very much on green energy. We have a company called Vestas, for example, here in Denmark, which is one of the leading companies when it comes to wind energy. So climate and working with sustainability is also something that is very much in focus here in Denmark. And then based on all these things, and of course a lot of other things, we are year by year ranked as some of the happiest people in the world. Yes. But why would you choose to study in Denmark? Well, we have high quality education here. And when I say high quality, it is because we're ranked as the fourth best study destination, or the fourth best educational system in the world. We're all public universities. We only have public universities here in Denmark, but the state guarantees a certain level of quality in the education. We have a very modern and innovative way of thinking education, and we work problem-based. And I will get back to that later, but with modern, I think you should think of us as working not so traditional, not working with only theory where we have to study a lot and learn a lot by heart. That we also do, but it's also about bringing our computers and having access to internet when we do the exams. It's about rather than studying everything and learning everything by heart, it's about teaching our students and giving them the right tools to solve problems themselves. So they cannot always find the answers in the book, but they will be guided and helped to find or search for the answers or the solutions. And then we have a very international environment. We are one of the most international institutions in Denmark, but in general, in universities in Denmark, we have a lot of international students. And what about when you graduate? How is Denmark as a career destination? Well, first of all, we offer very good career opportunities. We have a high employment rate. We had that before the pandemic. We still have that, and we see that the employment is going up again. Of course, we had a fall in employment, but it is raising again. And we have a stable economy here in Denmark. We had a good starting point before the pandemic, and this has made us able to make different packages for the companies that had to close down or partly close down during the pandemic. And we see already now that this is going to help us very, very well through this situation that we're in right now. So that we expect that also after this pandemic, we will have a very stable economy here in the country and still a very low unemployment rate. And then, of course, we have what we call work-life balance, or a good work-life balance. So we love to work here in Denmark. We love to work and be efficient when we work, so that we don't have to work too many hours every day, so that we can find a lot of time for holidays, social activities, and meeting friends and family. Then specifically, we have different programs. I will get back to them later, but specifically for engineers, we see that that we have a very high employment. So in 2020, it was actually around 2%. Before that, 2019, it was less than 2%, especially within software engineering, civil engineering, and mechanical engineering. And this means, of course, that if you graduate from VIA University College with an engineering degree, you will have very good chances of finding a job within your field here in Denmark if you wish to stay. Of course, combined with the fact that you have a mandatory internship, so a full semester internship in a Danish company, where you will have the chance to show what you can, be part of the team at the company, and start networking. This, of course, makes your chances for finding a good job very, very good. And we also know that 25% of the graduates, the 25% of these who graduate, they find their first job in the company where they did the internship. So the fact that we have this mandatory internship will help you start on the job market. And then the salaries are, of course, this is before taxes. I just want to mention that in the first year after graduation, you should expect around 5,000 euros per month. But there, of course, you have to deduct the taxes that are around 40%. And we expect here in Denmark to lack around 13,500 engineers by 2025. And in Turkey, this might not sound like a high number, but here in Denmark, with only 5.8 million people, it's quite a high number of people we're going to lack within engineering. Yes. And what about VIA? Well, as mentioned, we're a public university. We are the largest university of applied sciences. And by applied sciences, of course, we mean that we have this more practical approach to things. We have been ranked as the leading entrepreneurial institution 3 times since 2014. And this means that we have in all programs, we have elements of entrepreneurship, and we work very much with innovation. We have innovation weeks where you might work with people from other programs on different projects. So if you have if you would like to work with innovation and entrepreneurship, it's a very good institution to be at. We have around 3,500 international students, and on the campus, I will show you later, on the campus in Horsens, where we offer most of our programs, 50% of the students are international. So you'll meet a very, very international environment there, just as we also try to encourage all of our students, both the Danish, but also the international students, to do a semester abroad in one of our many, many partner universities. So if you would like the international experience on top of the experience you'll get in Denmark, that is also, you also have very good possibilities for that. Yes. If you study at VIA, you should be prepared for this problem-based learning. This means that you will be taking actively part in the classroom. We have small size classes, and you should expect to take part, not just sit and listen and take notes, but there will be a dialogue between you and the teacher, or groups and the teacher, and you are expected to be active in the classroom. So this, for some of our international students, can be a challenge in the beginning because they come from systems that are different. But you will soon find that we have this very informal, low hierarchy society here. So you will call your teacher by first name, for example, and his or her door is always open if you have questions. So it will soon be just like being part of the group and taking actively part in discussions, and also sometimes disagree with the teacher. That's how we learn and move sometimes. Then, as mentioned, you have this mandatory internship for most of the programs. It's on the 5th semester. On some of the programs, it's on other semesters. And here we have a few photos from the learning environment. You can see some mechanical engineering students working with solar panels. You can see this small classroom that I told you about, and you can see that students are sitting in groups, because group work is also a big part of studying at VIA, just as semester projects are a big part. So we could imagine that these students working with the solar panel, they are doing it as their semester project. So they actually had to design and produce a solar panel as their semester project. So it's very important that we have this on each semester. Again, it's very much hands-on. And apart from the programs, we have different facilities. We have a student incubator, which is a place where, well, it's on all campuses. There is this center where you can go and get help if you have plans or ideas for a startup. If you have worked on a project that you would like to get to live in real life, if you have a business idea with that project, you can go to the student incubator and get help with different things. For instance, how to make a startup in Denmark, how to brand myself, how to deal with the Danish authorities when I'm making business in Denmark. These kinds of things, you can get help. You can get a small office space. They have different workshops if you just like to get an introduction to what they're working with. So this is a very good place to go for those of you who would like to work with innovation, entrepreneurship. Of course, we have different student organizations and clubs. We have them on VIA. I would also suggest that you look a little outside of VIA to integrate, to get the possibility to speak Danish with Danish people. Because if you come to Denmark, you don't have to speak Danish because everybody in Denmark, also in public offices, speak English. We learned that from very small. But of course, if you would like to integrate, have your internship here, it's always easier if you speak the language, maybe not perfectly, but if you speak at least a little Danish. And we offer free Danish classes here on campus. So it's actually, you have really easy access to the Danish courses. All you have to invest in it is time. So different clubs and organizations outside of VIA will give you access to Danish young people, and actually you can get the chance to practice the Danish you hopefully learn at the Danish course. Then we have the Career Service Center, and that's a very important place because we would actually like you to stay in Denmark once you've graduated. And what they can do at the Career Service Center is that they can help you with understanding how the Danish work market works, or how you approach Danish companies. They have a huge network of Danish companies with whom we collaborate. So they can guide you through, help you write the CV, help you write an application, help you maybe if you want to call the company and ask for a coffee meeting, they can help you with how to approach the companies. And then they have twice, so there are different workshops, and you can also have one-to-one meetings with them or with companies that they invite during the year. And then twice a year they have this company dating, where we have a lot of companies coming to VIA, making a kind of a fair, and you can meet up with the companies, learn a little about the companies, tell them what you can offer them, maybe bring the CV you made. So it's a good chance to meet the companies, both for for finding a place for your internship, but also when it comes to jobs after graduation. So my advice would be to keep an eye on the different events that they're hosting in the Career Service Center, and as soon as you can, because there are a lot of things to do once you arrive here, but as soon as you have the time, go there, check out what they have scheduled, join some of the events and workshops. What they also do from the Career Service Center is that before study start, they have an Employability Camp, and it is 2 weeks before study starts. You come to Denmark on this camp. You have Danish classes every day, so you get the introduction to the Danish language. You will be networking already on the camp with Danish companies. And then, of course, there are a lot of different social and cultural activities where you meet up with some of the other students from other programs as well. We did it for the first time this summer, so 2020, despite the pandemic and everything, and it went very well, and we had very, very good feedback from the students who joined it, and we know that a lot of these students actually also started their Danish courses on a regular basis now. So it's a very, very good place to get a good study start here. VIA is based in 8 different cities or towns in the middle part of Denmark, and we have the English courses or the English programs in 3 different cities or towns. It's Aarhus, it's the second largest city in Denmark, and it's 3 hours away from Copenhagen. Then it's in Horsens, and Horsens is the campus where we have 50% international students. And then we have Herning, which is located in an area that used to be a place where we had a lot of our textile industry here in Denmark. We still have, but we don't have much production any longer here in Denmark. But in Herning, we offer our design programs. And this is actually a photo from the campus in Herning. And you can see here some of the students working on their final project. I think Herning is the campus where we have, because you have access 24/7 to all the campuses. And I think Herning is the campus where you will actually 24/7 find students working on their projects, being very creative, sewing, drawing, knitting, really working hard on their projects. Not that other students are not working hard, but of course here they need the facilities from the campus. This is in Horsens. This is the most international campus, and we are right now building a brand new campus. As you can see, these are not real photos, but made from the architect. But we will open the campus in summer 21. So next intake will be on the new campus. It's in the city center, just across the train station. So you will have easy access to both Copenhagen, it's 2.5 hours, and Aarhus, which is half an hour. So it's a very nice location, and I think and hope very nice facilities with a lot of group rooms and brand new laboratories for our engineers. So I think it's going to be very, very fine there. Just across the street in Horsens, there will be this student house, which is a place where young people, students, can come. There will be concerts, there will be a small bar there, there will be different kinds of events and activities. Of course, we hope that this will also be a very nice place for you to join some of these events. In Aarhus, we offer 3 of our programs in English, and this is also a new campus, relatively new. It's 5 years ago that we opened this campus. So it's also very, very modern, and with all the newest facilities there. Also in the city center of Aarhus. Yes, on the rooftop, we see some students in the break playing basketball. The different programs that we have are within design, business, engineering, and construction. And our design programs are, we have fashion design, and then we have a design-related business program called Branding and Marketing Management. So it is actually a business program, but with when we work with the cases there, 80% of the cases will be from the fashion and lifestyle industry. So the fashion design is in many ways a traditional fashion program, in the sense that it is all about designing and understanding the whole process of the design. On each semester, you will be working on a new subject or with a new theme. And because we have the business people there as well, you will also see that on some of the projects you will be working, or some smaller projects, you will be working with the business people, because we think that it's very important that even though you have a huge interest for design and it's very creative and everything, you also have to have an understanding for the business part of it. And what the branders do is that they design concepts, they design brands, they work with marketing strategies, they work with social media. So they design everything around the brand, you could say. Both programs are split in 2 parts. So we have a 2-year AP degree and a 1.5-year top-up. This means that after the 2 years, you can actually say, okay, I don't feel like studying anymore. I would like to get some practical experience, more practical than I can at VIA. So I will go work for a year or 2. And then I will apply for my top-up, and then I have the full bachelor's degree. Some would say after 2 years, it's fine with me being a design assistant. I will go work and I'll never go back to school. And some would say, okay, I do the 2 years, and then I apply for the top-up, and then I have my full bachelor's degree. So both programs are split in these two parts. The important thing here is that you have to apply for both of them. So even though you take the AP degree, you're not guaranteed a seat in the top-up. Also, you have to know that for getting accepted to these programs, you would have to do an admission assignment. This is the only programs where you have to do an admission assignment. Yes, and some more photos from the VIA Design campus. Then we have our business programs, and again, when it comes to the marketing management and international sales and marketing management, it's a traditional marketing program with all the traditional courses. But again, here you have to remember that we have all the projects. We work very close with the company, so you can make projects each semester in collaboration with companies. So you get really close to what it's out there, what it's like out there in real life. This program is also split in two, so the way we do it is the same as with the design programs. We have a bachelor's degree in value chain management, and the value chain management is a business program. It's not an engineering program, but it is, of course, there will be a lot of calculations, a lot of math, because it's a program where you work with optimizing processes in the logistics, in the production, in the finance department, all the places throughout the chain where you can think of working with optimization. That's what you do in value chain, and you will have some of the more traditional business classes as well, but it's very much about working with optimization. It's a program where we see that a lot of our graduates, they get jobs very easily afterwards, so they're very sought for, these graduates. Then we have our engineering and construction programs. So what we have is that we have some of the more traditional engineering programs like civil engineering, software engineering, and mechanical engineering. Then we have climate and supply engineering, and that is very much about water supply, heating supply, getting rid of wastewater. A program that is very interesting also in these years with all the climate changes we are going through right now, how to get rid of all the water when we've had a flood somewhere. Or so these are some of the things that they work with on the climate and supply engineering. The global business engineering is an engineering program where you combine engineering and business and languages. So here 80% of the time or 80% of the courses are engineering courses. And after the first year, you will have to choose whether you want to do mechanical engineering or software engineering. Then you have to choose a second language, so either Spanish, French, or German. So it's a program where you get the chance to specialize either in the technical area or more in the business area, but still with a huge technical understanding. We see a lot of our engineers here in Denmark who do some education after they've graduated from engineering, where they do some business courses or management courses. And here you actually get it all in one program. It's a very popular program as well. And we offer that both in Horsens and in Aarhus. Then we have the material science engineering, which is an engineering program where we work with different materials, primarily within the textiles, but also you can choose to focus more on plastics. The program is based in Herning, where we have the design program, because they use a lot of the same laboratories. It's not a design program, it is an engineering program, but it's very much about, it could be about developing intelligent materials for the textile industry, sportswear, within military or within hospitals. It can also be working with sustainability in the production when you produce materials, for example. So a very good program also within the materials. And then we have the architectural technology and construction management. This is not an architectural program, it's more a construction or project management program. So you will be working very much with constructions, learning how to design, draw, and also calculate constructions, but not on an architectural level when it comes to designing and drawing, and not on an engineering level when it comes to calculations. So you'll be working somewhere in between. And a lot of our graduates, they end up working as project managers for different construction projects. Yes. So don't let the title of this program confuse you. You're not going to be an architect. You can end up working, if you choose to focus on that, of course, with designing and drawing, but it's not an architectural program as such. Again, we have some photos from some of our students. Yes. And what would you need to apply for our programs? Well, you would need to have passed your high school, of course. Then, especially for engineering, you would need math, physics, and chemistry. I'll get back to the levels later on. Then you would need good English skills, and you can get accepted with either IELTS 6.5 or TOEFL 83. But we actually also accept the English that you've had in your high school in Turkey. And then, as mentioned, for the design programs, you would need to make an admission assignment. And that is actually, you apply from 1st of February to 15th of March here in Denmark for all Danish institutions. And on the 15th of March, if you have applied for a design program, we will send you a link to the admission assignment. And then you have 2 weeks to make this assignment. Of course, all the admission requirements you can find on our website. And I just wanted to mention that to meet the English requirements we have, you have to have had 210 clock hours of English the last 3 years of your high school. And then you would need the grade 3, so 55 to 69 points in your system. And Berkey has to correct me if I'm wrong with the system, but this is what the ministry here in Denmark informs.
Kısa araya gireyim. Sorry, Hele. I'll just tell what because I just wanted to jump in on that, but I will also.
Great. Thank you.
There are a lot of questions as well, so we have to give at least 10 to 15 minutes to them. But for this one, arkadaşlar, bu İngilizce gereklilik konusu şöyle bir şey. Gittiğiniz liselerde eğer eğitiminiz tamamıyla %100 İngilizce veriliyorsa aslında geçerli olan bir şeyden bahsediyoruz. Hani bunu bir İngilizce yeterlilik olarak kullanabiliyorsunuz. Ek olarak da burada gördüğünüz gibi derslerdeki puanlarınız, performanslarınızın iyi durumda olması için 70 ile 84 arasında, orta durumda olması için 55 ile 69 arasında olması gerekiyor. Biz zaten Danimarka'ya gidecek öğrenciler için 70-84 arası ortalamayı genellikle tavsiye ediyoruz. Okay, thanks. I just explained it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Berg. And then as mentioned, well, we have study start in late August, beginning of September. You apply online on something called optagelse.dk, a very nice Danish word. And the application is open from 1st of February to 15th of March. And what is actually the most important thing when you apply is that by 15th of March noon, we need to have your signature page. So once you fill in the application in this system, by the end, you will get a signature page that you have to print and sign, and then send it to us. There's a mail address on the signature page. But we need to have that by the 15th of March, otherwise it's too late with the applications. And the final deadline then for uploading all the documents is not until 5th of July. So let's say you sit in March and think, oh, I don't have my diploma, or I don't have my English test, or whatever. You just make the application, send in the signature page, and then it's all good. And then you send the documents once you have them. And which document should you upload? Well, we need your high school diploma. Send in the transcript if you don't have the diploma at the time when you apply. Then a copy of your passport, English, if you don't have it from high school on the right level. And then we have some forms that I will just shortly show you. So the math form is for our engineering programs. You just have to fill in the areas that you've been taught in high school, and then upload it with your application. We will not. It's just for us to know if we need to upgrade you in some of these areas. So you will not get a rejection or anything based on this one. This one is more important. This is where we ask your high school to verify your level of math, physics, chemistry, and English. So here you write in the number, or your high school writes in the number of hours of English you've had in the last 3 years of high school, and then they, if engineering, then also math, physics, and chemistry, and then they sign, stamp, and you upload it with your application. Accommodation, of course, we have student accommodation here. You can find more information on our website about the different kinds of accommodation we offer in the different campus cities that we're in. Yes. And then, of course, you're always more than welcome to contact me. That's what I'm here for. So write me an email if you have any questions or anything. We also host different webinars, and you can see recordings from webinars on our website, more specific from the different programs. For example, if you're interested in mechanical engineering, go there and find the webinar about mechanical engineering. And then, of course, Berg is here to help us today, and you can also contact him. And you can find the contact information on ISIS's website. Yes. We also have, I just want to mention that we have a Facebook group called Keeping Up with via University College. And it's a Facebook group that is run by some of our international students. And that is actually a very good place just to look in or to check in, or because they have different posts on life in Denmark. You can ask questions, all kinds of questions about programs, or where to find accommodation or student jobs, or where to buy a used bike, or whatever. So it's a very good good place to look as well, Keeping Up with via University College. Yes. So a very short presentation. But yes, I guess that's what we have time for today. And questions?
Yes, Hele. I would like to just jump in here so that we can just figure out the questions that we're gonna talk about, because some of them I have answered in written format.
Perfect.
But for some, I want to bring it, once again on the floor so that we can discuss it. By the way, let me introduce myself once again. I didn't do that properly. Arkadaşlar, benim ismim Berk Alyeni. ICES Türk Yurtdışı Eğitim Danışmanlık direktörüyüm. Aynı zamanda akademik danışmanlık firmamız birçok üniversiteyi temsil ettiği gibi Burada da Via University College'ın Türkiye temsilciliğini yapıyoruz. Yani bizimle başvurularınızı takip ettiğiniz takdirde ücretsiz bir danışmanlık hizmeti alıyorsunuz ve tüm işlemlerinizi bir uzman danışman eşliğinde yapıyorsunuz. Kısaca bu şekilde. Let me tell you about some of the important questions that I would like to mention, starting from the bottom. Okay, so I think first of all, we should talk about the working opportunities during the studies, after the studies, and also one of the students asked specifically what sort of companies that you're working with. You know, which companies you have an agreement with, and you mentioned that there is an opportunity for the students to do internships during the 5th or 6th semesters. So let's elaborate more on this working opportunities.
Yes. First of all, if we should talk about working during your studies, if you come from Turkey, you're allowed to work up to 20 hours per week while you study here in Denmark. And we know from our international students that it's quite easy to find a student job here. Student jobs are not CEO positions. Student jobs, if you don't speak Danish yet, are often in warehouses, restaurants, cleaning jobs, but these jobs are there, they are available and quite easy to get. The average salary for student jobs are around 17 euro per hour. And then, of course, you have to deduct the taxes, but you have a free amount every month of around, in euros, that would be around 500 euros every month, from which you don't pay taxes. When it comes to internships, we work with not all Danish companies, of course, but a lot of Danish companies in different sizes. So some of the big companies that you might know, like Arla, Vestas, Carlsberg, Bestseller, some of the bigger Danish companies, but also some of the smaller, more local companies that you might not know. We never see that our students do not find internships. During the pandemic, some of the students have worked from home. I just had a webinar earlier today, and we had a software engineer who told me he did his internship in a big Danish engineering company. In the first 4 weeks, he went to office, but from there on, he worked from home. But even during the pandemic, we've seen that students have found internships, and they have had good experiences also in the Danish companies. So it's not a problem finding the internship here in Denmark if you want to. And we would like you to find the internship here, because we know it betters your chances for also staying here after graduation, and we would like you to. And it's also a priority from the Danish government, actually. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And as far as I know, after graduation, they will have another 6 months or 1 year to.
That has actually been prolonged, so that it used to be 6 months for bachelor's, but now it's 2 years, sometimes plus 1 year. So if you graduate from with a bachelor's degree here in Denmark, you're allowed to stay up to 2 years to find a relevant job. And that is definitely possible with the degrees that we offer.
I think it's much better than many other European countries. I didn't see that from any other countries. Like, I think it's only in UK now 2 years, but there's no other country. So it's a very good opportunity, because there are a lot of positions for engineering candidates. They are open. They are looking for engineers. They give there is a good starting salary when you compare it to the other European countries. Perfect. By the way, I would like to answer this. You know, there are a lot of questions that are somehow very detailed questions, and we don't have time for that. So I'm just gonna tell them how to reach me. Arkadaşlar, ben mail chat kısmında şeyi yazıyorum. Kendi mail adresimi yazdım. Orada ve mail adresimle beraber web sitemizin de linklerini göreceksiniz. Buradan bütün hani CV'nizdir, transkriptinizdir, eğitim bilgilerinizle birlikte direkt olarak bana mail gönderirseniz şayet ben çok daha detaylı bir şekilde size yardımcı olabilirim. Bazı soruları bu yüzden cevaplamıyorum çünkü zamanımız yok. Duolingo sınavı uygulanmıyor. Do you have Duolingo as one of the international English exams, or you don't accept it?
Which one?
Duolingo.
No. It's IELTS or TOEFL. Yes, or your English from high school.
Okay. One of the questions: what is the average cost of living in Denmark?
Yes.
I think it's for you.
Yeah, it's you should count on 700 to 750 euros per month, covering all your expenses. Aarhus is a little more expensive than Horsens because it's a bigger city. There are more students living there, but 750 euros in average
per month. Yeah.
Yes.
Does it include the accommodation?
That is included, yes, included accommodation.
The reason of that, by the way, my friends, the reason is that Denmark provides you opportunities with the accommodation. Most of the European countries, when I compare it, because this is my job, usually, like for example, in Netherlands or such as countries such as Ireland, there's a huge demand on the accommodation, and they do not guarantee accommodation to the students. So this is a private sector. So now they charge you 700, 800 euros per month when you go to these countries. But in Denmark, if you're a student, if you're an international student, you have a guaranteed accommodation, and it's cheaper. Actually, when you hear Denmark, you think it's more expensive, but it's actually cheaper. Okay.
The student accommodation is cheaper and often also furnished. So so don't think about that or bringing furniture from back home.
As I mentioned, I will answer any questions about application requirements. If you can just simply send me an email with your CV or transcript, it will be much better. Bana mail atabilirsiniz. Çünkü bölümlerin başvuru şartları bölüme göre değişiyor. Yani bu şu anda cevaplayabileceğim bir soru değil. Do we have any online programs? I think no.
No. Right now we do, unfortunately, but no, we don't offer any online programs. But just speaking of online, I just want to tell you that even with all the group work and all the practical work we do here, we've actually managed the lockdown very well here. Just had a meeting with 4 international students, and they were all very happy and content with how we've dealt with all the online classes here.
Perfect. Okay.
But online programs as such, we don't have that.
Setanay has a really good question. I think we should finally talk about this one. I think it was from Setanay Varol. Yes. So she says, can I have an info for international marketing and management? How long does it take? And fees, application requirements. So since this is a specific program question, I wanted to...
International sales and marketing management.
Yes.
It's part of the 3-year program where you start with the 2 years marketing management and then 1.5 year international sales and marketing management. So unless you have something from Turkey that corresponds with our 2-year AP degree, you cannot apply directly for the international sales and marketing management. So it's part of the same program. When it comes to the fees, the business programs, so marketing management, you pay 6,000 euros per semester.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the semester where you do the internship. Here you only pay 4,000 euros, so it will be 10,000 euros per year for these programs. And when we're talking about fees, the engineering programs is 15,000 euros per year, except for the year where you do the internship, because you only pay 1,000 for that semester where you do the internship. So for that year, you will pay 8,500.
Okay.
And talking about the fees, scholarships are very hard to get here, and right now at VIA, we are looking into a new scholarship structure. So we shouldn't count too much on scholarships, unfortunately. Yes.
By the way, anywhere in the world, especially in Europe, you don't get to have scholarships for bachelor's degrees. Like there are some, how can I say, exceptions. For example, some universities give you 1 or 2 scholarships for economics program, for example. Some give that to specifically engineering programs. But this is very, very, how can I say, unique situation. This is not something that you will find all the time. Usually, the scholarships are given for masters and PhD candidates.
Yes.
So this is the conjuncture in the whole world. So
yeah. So it's not.
You have to be aware of that while planning it. By the way, I want to say something else for all the people listening, because I think I'm going to tell you something that you already know. I'm going to tell it in Turkish. Bugün Türkiye'deki hani VIA seviyesinde okuyabileceğiniz, iş fırsatlarına erişebileceğiniz, diyelim hani pratik anlamda sektörle çok yakın çalışabileceğiniz iyi akademisyenlerle, sizinle çok mentor seviyesinde ilgilenebilecek insanlarla çalışacağınız bir Koç Üniversitesi'nde fiyat ortalama 100.000 Türk lirası haline geldi zaten. Yani Özyeğin'de, Bilgi'de yaklaşık 80.000 civarında bir fiyat var. Ve bunlar aslında Avrupa'daki oturum imkanları, çalışma imkanlarını şu anda ülke konjonktürü sebebiyle sunamıyorlar. O yüzden de çok da aslında maddi karşılaştırma yaptığınızda buradaki 12 ile 15.000 euro arasındaki fiyatların çok uçuk kaçık farklar olduğunu düşünmüyorum. I just mentioned that currently our high quality universities are charged around 10,000 euros to 15,000 euros. So there's not a big difference when you compare the education and working opportunities in Denmark.
No, and if you choose engineering, you don't have to work that many years actually before everything is. So it's a good investment, maybe.
It's basically an investment, actually. Like you will have a good salary, you will find jobs easily, and you will be, in Denmark.
And go back to Turkey for the weather, the good food, during the holidays.
Right? Okay. Yeah. I see no other questions at this moment, but as I mentioned, I put my info for contact through email, and also you can reach out to our website. We have a good content in Turkish for VIA University College. We have a good content answering your questions in Turkish, so you can just visit our pages and you can also read about them. There was a question about master's degree, but as far as I know, VIA University is basically and mostly oriented in bachelor's degrees, so we didn't answer that question. But of course, if there are questions about master's degrees, you can simply send me emails. Any other thing?
And when it comes to masters, we don't offer any masters, but you will have access to master degrees with a degree from VIA. So we collaborate with other universities, for example, Aarhus University, which is a quite highly ranked university here in Denmark, and you can enter their master with a bachelor's degree from VIA. But of course, we do not offer any masters, no.
Definitely. Okie dokie. I think we're done. Thank you everyone. Çok teşekkürler katıldığınız için. Yardımcı olabileceğimiz her konuda tekrar dönüşlerinizi bekliyoruz. Thank you.
Thank you very much from Denmark as well. I hope to see you here in Denmark, or maybe at a fair in Turkey at some point when everything opens up again. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you very much, Helen and Berk. It was a very informative webinar for the attendees, and you put a real effort answering all of the questions. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.